I graduated from San Francisco State University in 2010 with a master's degree in Chinese. SFSU was very diverse. It changed my life and connected me with my Asian roots.
This is an amazing program if you would like to know more about the Chinese language and culture.
I am extremely thankful for the Chinese program for equipping me with valuable strategies regarding conveying the Chinese language to foreign learners.
So no matter you want to be a Chinese teacher or translator, interpreter or researcher, everything you learn from the program will always help.
There is a very strong and capable faculty team from the Department of Modern Languages and Literatures at San Francisco State.
All the professors and faculty are really nice. They are professional, knowledge, and helpful.
As a result, I am now able to give my students the best educational experience as I can.
If you go to Chinese master's program at San Francisco State University, that will be your best experience ever.
The Chinese program at San Francisco State University offers a master's degree in Chinese with a curriculum encompassing classical and modern Chinese literature, linguistics, and language pedagogy, with additional elective courses in the areas of Chinese English translation and interpretation, and teaching Chinese as a foreign language. Classes are taught by instructors with expert knowledge of their fields who are eager to engage students in discussion and research.
Chinese poetry grew out of music, and early Chinese poetry was always sung. So the intrinsic connection between music and good poetry was always there. And so when the Shidaifu Jieji grew up, they developed the literati, and they began to write poetry that was not sung anymore, but maybe only chanted in small groups of people. They still wanted to maintain that kind of a musical quality. And so what they came up with was these patterns of the tones.
Is it more common to have consonants at the beginning of a syllable, or is it more common to have consonants at the end of a syllable? To give you an example, is it more common to hear the sound ba in the world's languages, or is it more common to hear the combination ab? Ba or ab? In ba, you have a consonant at the beginning of the syllable. In ab, you have a consonant at the end of the syllable. And what linguists have found is that the most common syllable structure in the world's languages is a CV structure.
Now, I had said that today I wanted to talk a little bit more about the influences on Zhang Ailing, and of course I had said that we also wanted to look a little bit more at Zhang Ailing's own words, right, and what she had to say about her literary aesthetics. 我想跟你们一起看一下张爱玲对自己的文学有什么看法，怎么评论自己 right? And I said we wanted to pay particular emphasis on this concept of 参差的对照, right? This really important concept. So let's look at that little passage together.
What is the difference that they saw between ping and ze? Yeah, there's two different arguments about that. One is that ping are longer syllables, like la, la, whereas the ze are shorter, shang, qu, ru, etc., right? Or long, do, as in the ru sheng zi in Cantonese. That's one. The other is that the ping sheng is easier on the throat, so it's sort of a more open throat, la, and then the others are more constricted throat. Either way, what the poets were trying to do is to create some kind of an alternation between these two.
So where had we left off last week? We had started to talk about the literature of occupied Shanghai, right? We had called it 被占领下的都市文化与文学, right? Urban literature and culture of the occupied period. We had introduced another important term. We had called it 沦陷文学, literature of the occupation.
Now, by now you have an idea what a syllable should look like. It should look like a sonority peak. It should have this summit shape. Okay, that would give you a valid syllable. But when you have two syllables next to each other, where do you determine the line between these two peaks? That is to say, where do you make the cut? That is what we want to deal with here.
Candidates for the master's degree typically complete 10 courses over a period of 3 semesters. These include core requirements in language pedagogy, linguistics, and classical and modern literature, and electives in areas such as media and translation interpretation. Graduates then embark on careers in business, media, and language teaching, or pursue further research at the doctoral level.
我现在在旧金山Wallenberg 高中教书。
After receiving my degree, I became a Chinese teacher at Chinese American International School in San Francisco.
目前呢，我在国防语言学院中文系任教，并担任系主任。
目前呢，我就是做那种网络的团课、团班。
说到我的工作呢，主要就是在沉浸式的语言教学环境中教授学生中文，帮助那些零起点的学生在短短64周的时间里，熟练地掌握中文这门外语，并且深入地了解中国文化。
One of the best things I did during my program at SFSU was to apply to the one-year study abroad program at National Taiwan University. I wanted to study classical Chinese, Chinese poetry, reading and writing. When I was in Taiwan, I met many Japanese students also studying Chinese, and they recommended that I visit Japan. Currently, I teach English and promote study abroad at 3 different universities in Japan. I've also had experiences teaching Chinese in Japan.
我后来发现这个市场其实还蛮大的，于是我就打算自己创业。一开始呢，我也是想要创一个 language school， 就是有一个实体店面的语言学校。但是后来我发现呢，这租金太高了，所以后来呢，我慢慢发现 online school 或者是这种运用科技的这种或是 AI 的技术呢，其实是未来的趋势。
You never know, it can change your life. What you do in your 20s is very important. Follow your dreams, don't give up, and I wish you all the best.